I have a bunch of friends who say I could never make my own beer or wine or hard tea. And I always say, oh my gosh, it's so easy. And they're like, sure, Rebecca, of course it's easy. But honestly, it really is. I don't know about you, but every now and then I get a little antsy with that ADHD, neurodiversity, must learn something new, kind of need to fidget vibe. If you can relate, you can relate. Usually it's because I have too much of something, like I have too much lemon balm that a friend gave me, or I find myself with fruit that's gonna go bad in the fridge. I have not yet learned to make something with Aussie Shepherd fur, although I'm sure that at some point I might figure that out if hypothetically there was some sort of Armageddon. Anyways, I digress. Say hi and then go away. Hello. So you can actually get started for a relatively inexpensive amount of money because there's always someone getting tired of a hobby just as you're ready to do it. And I am firmly committed to not paying full price for any of that stuff. So today we're going to talk about making your own beer. I live in the shoe swap, and right next to me I have a wonderful woman named Kirsten up at Cork and Cap U Brew in Blind Bay who has all of the goodies if you need to buy things like brewer's yeast, or in my case, this brown ale kit. And you're thinking I'm crazy because it just turned July, and who the heck in their right mind is drinking brown ale in July? Well, this girl. Technically I'll be drinking it in August because it takes about 4 weeks, but honestly, just thinking ahead to fall, I wanted to make some of this so we have it ready to go. Plus brown ale, like it's just so good. I mean, it's basically lunch. A few simple things you need. You need a bucket. It doesn't have to be a brew bucket, although I did inherit this lovely brew bucket from someone who was tired of this hobby last fall. This one's really cool because it has actually a temperature gauge right on the front of it. You could go like, this is bath water warm and still get it right, but you don't want to be too hot, otherwise you'll kill the yeast when you put it into the bucket. So the thermometer is like an extra thing, but it's pretty rad to have. This bucket also comes with a lid with a hole in it. And you say, why would there be a lid with a hole in it? Well, this lid ends up going on top, and then you put what's called a bubbler in it. So it's this little device. It comes with a cork that fits in the hole. Then this goes in here. Then this thing goes on top, and this goes like that. And you put a little bit of your sanitizing liquid, even just water, or some people like to use vodka. Maybe they just do a shot at the end of the beer making process to celebrate, I'm not sure. But basically that lets the carbon dioxide out without letting other yuckies in. That could ultimately make this taste funky instead of delicious. So one of these is pretty great to have. I think they're a couple bucks. Guess what? If you don't have one of these and you don't want to buy a big bucket like this, you can get a bucket that holds usually around 25 liters is what you're looking for. Drill a hole in the top of it, and you can even do like a little film